Just saying, the college dropouts are Div 2 now.
Yes, our
Div,
Chell team.
Yeah.
Div 3 title.
Yes, we're going for
Just
we're
Three
going for
titles
the
in
Elite
two.
Cup this time. Last time we won the Pro Cup champions. Check it on our jersey patches for sure. But we're going for the Elite Cup. Disney on Ice ain't got nothing on us, man. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the College Dropouts podcast. My name is Cody.
Logan.
Ryan.
I'm Joey.
And again, this is our second episode. Don't really need much of an intro this time. I think we can just kind of get things right back to it. Before we do get started, though, I will say if you haven't checked the first episode, go check that out. So, I mean, you'll watch this one, you'll get an understanding of kind of how we work it. But I think, if you want to go back and watch it, go ahead. If you enjoy what you're watching, though, leave a like and subscribe. Also, follow our social media handle, our Instagram at the College Dropouts YT. You'll see clips of our show on there. You'll see, other stuff that we post on there, opinions, lists, stuff like that. We're going to do a couple lists on here today. So we're going to post some of those lists onto our Instagram as well. I think that's about it. I think we can get started, fellas. You guys have anything you want to add for the intro? No? All right. We're going to move on to our first segment.
Yeah. Dropped out of school, now we done rich.
All right, so for our first segment, what we usually like to do is we're going with headlines. So some of the biggest sports headlines of the day/week. Obviously, March Madness just started. It's the month of March. This weather's kind of madness also, by the way, so it's kind of a perfect name.
Yeah, here in Canada, it's brutal.
It's fucking cold one day today. It's like 15 Celsius, which is like 50, I think. I don't know Fahrenheit, to be honest with you. But yeah, anyways, March Madness started. The first kind of couple games were kind of crazy. Duke almost lost. They were down, I think, 11 at the half to Siena. They survived that.
Bracket almost there.
They won. That's
Bracket.
my pick. Duke's my pick. So I would have been tragic if they went out. There was a couple other upsets. High Point beat Wisconsin last second, apparently. I'm just reading off my script here. I don't actually know what the fuck I'm talking about, to be honest with you. Nebraska got its first ever tournament win. Good for Nebraska, I guess.
Congratulations.
And VCU, this is kind of more of a one that we'll get into a little bit later. They pulled off a 19-point comeback against North Carolina.
That was a choke job of the century, dude. I know so many people were pissed off.
Yeah,
at that
I
one.
had North
definitely-
Carolina, my Sweet 16, too.
That
was
definitely, that for sure ruined some brackets.
Busted, buddy. See you later.
We're not going to pick winners because obviously from the last show, the World Baseball Classic, we recorded that, and then immediately after, our picks were no good. So we're not going to be picking winners for that. The women's bracket also started today, and if we picked a winner for that, I feel like everybody would just have the same answer.
UConn.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, who would you go with for the women's bracket?
The Gamecocks, South Carolina.
The Gamecocks. All right. I would have UConn. So college
yeah.
basketball is one of the more popular playoffs, I would say. I mean, it's only like a short period of time, single elimination. Single elimination tournaments usually are the more popular ones just because of how exciting and how, there can be a lot of upsets. This can happen, that can happen. You look at the World Baseball Classic, you look at World Juniors, Olympics, stuff like that. Crazy things can happen. So on the note of talking about playoffs, I've instructed you guys to pick 4 playoffs to keep. The rest disappear forever. So when I talk about playoffs, you can count March Madness. You can count Olympic hockey, but not the round robin. It would have to be the single elimination when teams can actually be eliminated. You could pick any professional league, basically any tournament where teams go out, basically, is what I'm getting at. So, Logan, start us off with your 4 playoffs that you would keep, and obviously the rest would just disappear forever. So which 4 would you keep?
Well, to start off, I'm going to keep NFL playoffs. Just straight up, like the Super Bowl carries, and the fact that, the NFL season is so short, it gains a lot of traction. Next up, I'd probably keep NHL playoffs. Like, there's no better hockey than playoff hockey, honestly. Like, the brutality and all the hitting gets the fans involved, gets everybody going, which is always incredible. Next, I'd probably take Olympic hockey, like kind of best on best, because, same thing, hockey just gets the fans involved, and then you bring in every other country in the world, and it's different when you're cheering for your entire country rather than just a team in a state that you cheer for. And then last pick, I'm kind of biased because it's my sport, but I'm taking the MLB playoffs. Because, like, baseball during the regular season, like, you ask anybody on the street, they think it's boring. Like, I was even having this conversation with my mom earlier, and she said, yeah, I don't watch, like, regular season baseball because I think it's boring. But when the playoffs come around and there's higher stakes, it's a lot more entertaining to watch. So I'd take baseball with my last pick there for sure.
All right, so now Cole, can you give us the 4 playoffs that you would keep, and the rest would disappear forever?
So for me, it'd probably be, and probably no particular order either. Just kind of how it go. Probably March Madness 1 because I think it's just such an exciting format with having so many teams and how like literally it's like one and done and how anything can happen in that. Next should be probably be like NFL playoffs. It's another one always loved watching that as well as how that works. The next one would probably be the MLB playoffs. I like how it's kind of like shorter rounds in the beginning, and then as you go, it slowly kind of gets into your longer, so you get into your best of 7. And then for my 4th, probably I honestly I really like how the PGA does their playoffs because they do it based off of points throughout the year. Also, kind of similar, I think, to how NASCAR does their playoffs. I'm talking, that's more like a format way too than like the sport. Yeah, that probably might be my top 4.
Interesting you left hockey off there, man. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Honestly, I've never been a big fool. I don't like the format of hockey. I like it works. So I guess I looked at mine from a format base.
It's which ones you like to watch the best, Cole? You would rather watch golf playoffs than the NHL playoffs?
No, but honestly, I don't like how the NHL does the playoffs. How it feels like it's forever, but I do also love.
That's because you're a Leafs fan and you're done watching by the beginning of April. Anyways, we're gonna move on to.
Maybe that's why I don't get to see much of playoffs. So I guess I don't even watch much. It doesn't matter.
Me and Logan don't know nothing about that. We've seen plenty of playoff runs. All right, Ryan, your 4 favorite playoffs.
Okay, so this is in no particular order, except for number 1 will always be hockey playoffs. The other 3, it's no particular order. I understand what Cole was saying format-wise, though. I think it should be a 1-8 format, I think is what Cole was getting at.
That's what I did not mention that, yeah.
But NHL playoffs I'd keep. NFL playoffs I'd keep. Again, Super Bowl carries. It's one of the biggest championships, like, watched every year. MLB, same thing, keeping that. Especially when it's electric. Look at last year, man. Game 7, George Springer had his moment. 10 years ago, Batista had his moment. Like, it's electric. Now, I hate basketball with a passion.
Facts.
The NBA specifically. So that shit is gone. And I'm putting in March Madness. Because they play, not only are they playing single eliminations, but the amount of underdog stories in March Madness, it's great. It's just great to see. It's the best.
I think
that's a great point.
Yeah,
as the basketball, I'd say March Madness over NBA playoffs every day.
I think my ranking's similar to that, but I want to go back to something for a second, Cole. I've been thinking about this while Hendo was talking. You brought up NASCAR playoffs. Do you know like how they actually work? Because
exactly.
The NASCAR playoff format is fucking horrible.
Well, I thought it was based off. Maybe I don't know.
So you win if you win a race. So you can literally be the shittiest driver. If you win the Daytona 500, you're in the playoffs. And then it's a limit. So it's like then they'll do like 4 races in the round of 16. The bottom like 4 are out. You can move on to the playoffs. You can win one race all year and win the championship solely based on because you can finish second. And if everybody else in your competition finishes like 15th, 18th, 20th, and you get the most points, you can literally win one race all year and win the whole thing, that's honestly the worst playoff format in my opinion.
I thought you got points. No, I thought it was different than that.
They do points, but it's winning you're in.
Oh.
But then if you win 10 races in a year or if you win 1 race in a year, it doesn't matter to your playoff points. It doesn't make a single difference.
I think it should be. I think they instead of making it become first in your in, it should just be like you get so many points for first.
That's how it used to be, and then they changed it.
That's how F1
Yeah.
does. You get the most. You just points. You
Yeah,
don't get like.
They changed it. They
Oh,
might have
that's
changed it
why.
back this year. I haven't been watching. I haven't watched any
I don't
NASCAR
know.
this
I
year,
don't
but
think that. I don't.
I know for
neither
sure
have
that's
I,
how
so
it
I
used
have
to
no
work. Joey, your 4 playoffs that you would keep.
Um, 4 playoffs I would keep. No order. I'm definitely keeping NHL because a lot of us in Canada, we love hockey. North America in general, we love hockey. So we're keeping playoffs, NHL playoffs in there. I'm gonna keep MLB playoffs too because it was awesome just seeing the Jays go. That was the first time I actually really got into watching baseball, and I really enjoyed watching it. Um, I'm keeping the NFL playoffs because a lot of people, when it comes to the NFL and the Super Bowl, they don't start watching football till the playoffs start, unless you actually have a team to root for during the whole season. So NFL playoffs is really awesome. You get to see a lot of great comebacks and that stuff. And my last one is going to be the Memorial Cup, actually. Memorial Cup. I really enjoy watching it. It's arguably one of the hardest tournaments to make and compete in because it's the best from each 3 leagues, including your host. And it's just you get to see future and generational talents play for a really high status quality tournament / championship.
That was a great take. I love the MemCap.
Yeah.
Shout.
Before
Mem Cup
I
is
list off
nasty.
my list, though, I had a question about your guys' choices. Do you guys look at things like the World Cup as a playoff, or do you count that as an event like the Olympics, for example? Because I think only Logan said the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys look at the World Cup and the Olympics as more of an event other than a playoff?
No,
Yeah.
I think
I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, more like a tournament. I guess more like a.
Because
Sure.
if you think about it from that like point of view, like you can't really say and like March Madness because it happens once a year, where the Olympics is every 4.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But like if you're considering like the World Cup or the Olympics like more of an event, then technically March Madness is still considered an event.
But March
Because
Madness is a playoff because doesn't it determine the national champion? It's like the college football playoffs, no?
It does, but like you can argue the same thing for the Olympics. It's still technically declaring a national champion of that sport. Realistically, I still think it's considered a playoff in a way. If you view it, it's not like the teams are going out there and just like half-assing it. They're going out there to win a gold, or they're going out there to just win the tournament, whatever the case may be for whatever sport it is.
And then again, before I name my list, I want to talk to Joey for a second because he said the Memorial Cup. And obviously that's a really hard tournament to make because you got to win not only your league, but then you also have to compete against other teams that won their league. My only caveat that I would have with you, like this isn't a debate, this is just me stating my opinion, so we have a little bit of more runtime going on here. But the problem is you can get a host team that shouldn't be there that can win it. You know, you look at Windsor in 2017 when they hosted it. You can even look at Saginaw a couple years ago when they won it. Teams that
But they were
lose-
nasty. Saginaw was nasty, dude. You look at that roster, the thing with the tournaments, like with the Mem Cup and that stuff, a lot of teams, if they're in, then they'll really tank for a lot of trades. Like,
Yeah.
but that goes to every team in the OHL, the WHL, everywhere, any junior league like that. If they have a subtle chance by trade deadline that they're going to go far, like Sarnia Sting, for an example, even a lot of teams this year, like Flint, they've made a lot of trades. Barry's made a lot of trades.
Brantford.
And just Brantford, they've made a ridiculous amount of trades. Kitchener as well. Kitchener Rangers have made a lot of trades. But specifically for the Memorial Cup, like you look at Saginaw, they got Josh Bloom. Who else did they grab? I forget. But they had a lot of
Owen Beck and
Owen
others,
Beck. All those guys. So you have teams like that. If they're aware that they're gonna do Mem Cup, then usually they would tank so that they'd actually compete a lot better in the tournaments, just like Saginaw. Because they had Misa, they had Parak, they had Bloom, they had Beck, they had
Hunter Haight, big shout out.
Haight. Yeah, but he's been on that team.
He was there the year before, I think, because he came from Gary,
my
but-
only problem with tournaments where a host makes it is that you can have teams that really should not be there. Like, look at Italy in the Olympics this year. Italy should not have been in the Olympics for hockey. You can look at, other hockey Olympics. Korea should not have been there. Like, that's my only problem with it is, yeah, it's best on best, but then you're also going to have that one team that just flat out doesn't belong.
It's absolutely brutal.
That just doesn't belong. Like, obviously, like, a host can win it. Like, Windsor won it when they hosted. They were out in the first round. But also, I feel that if you don't win to get there, you shouldn't be there in the first place. Now, this is going on really long, so we have to move on to my list. My list, I would have for sure NHL playoffs number one. I think a hockey fan, that's just how it is. It's the most exciting hockey. It's the most exciting hockey you'll watch. MLB playoffs is going to be there because, again, a team like the Blue Jays, you had the whole country behind you. Like, I live, like, Windsor. I'm from Windsor. It's like 4 hours away from Toronto, like, still pretty close to Toronto. But you have a lot of Detroit Tigers fans because Detroit's right there. And I was at the mall before Game 7 of the ALCS, and everybody was wearing Jays merch. Every single person in that mall was wearing Jays merch. So, like, baseball, a team like that can bring a whole nation together. I would also have March Madness in there because not a huge basketball fan, but just I really like single elimination tournaments. And so I would also have to have the NFL playoffs in there for the same reason. I'm not a huge football fan. I watch it from time to time, but like the Super Bowl, just because the Super Bowl's there, like you guys said, it kind of carries. We've been going on this for like 15 minutes now, so we kind of have to move on though. But you guys have anything else to say?
I want to quickly just go back to that Mem Cup thing, just really quick.
Yep.
The CHL, I think they don't just draw a name out of a hat. I think they're very strategic choosing their host cities. They're looking at teams like I think I think it's Guelph that just got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Guelph.
And
it should have been Kitchener, dude. It should have been Kitchener.
I think the whole reason why Guelph got it is because if you compare the two rosters, when that year comes for Kitchener, all their guys are going to be gone. So they're going to be more of a bottom feeder, and Guelph should be in a position to be at least a top 4 in the conference. I think that's the way that they base like your Memorial Cup winners. Like you can look at a couple years ago in the queue, the host city, they're out in the first round.
Big John, right?
But then they went on a Cinderella run in the Memorial Cup for so like I kind of agree it's kind of stupid, but like
All right, we got a lot to talk about.
They can project the team.
We got a lot to talk about. It's time we move on now. All right, so per Cole's request, you guys found out the last episode. This guy's a huge F1 fan. If he turns his head to his right, there's a thing behind him there. Little F1 box. Where'd you get that from?
A dude.
Is it the same place I got my? Is it the same place you got my light?
Yeah, same guy.
Okay. Anyways, so Cole is requesting that we talk about F1. Apparently, this week's race was huge. Nobody in this call is really a big F1 fan, except for Cole. So we're kind of just going to let him take the reins on this and have fun. Cole, the floor is yours, buddy.
Okay, so starting with the race. So they're in China on Sunday. Yeah, and so this past weekend we had Kimi Antonelli, who's the youngest to ever get pole. And then also one.
Well, he got a hat trick.
Yeah. Did he win the sprint too? No,
yep,
I think George.
Sure, that's what the F1 page said.
Okay, then yeah, he got everything that weekend, and he also won the race, which he was the youngest to ever win an F1 race, which I thought was kind of shocking.
Right? Does that beats Verstappen?
Yeah, it beats Verstappen, which I'm kind of shocked. I literally didn't think that was going to be possible. And also,
made to be broke.
Speaking of Max Verstappen, he is still continually complaining about the cars and the new regulations. That's one thing.
I did find that a lot with Verstappen. He's always apparently like near the beginning of the season, he was talking to the staff and that stuff to not even say to what he's doing or like let people gap or whatever. He's a huge competitor. He's a big competitor in F1, arguably one of the best racers in the world, along with like Lewis Hamilton and that stuff. But yeah, like Max Verstappen, he's been on Red Bull his whole life. I feel like you should move.
I think it's almost time, especially because Red Bull's in a weird stage because they've
after they lost the president or not principal, team's gone downhill. Like you got teams like Haas that's finally moved up, And another thing about presidents, how about Audi's principal, not president's principal? How about Audi's principal leaving as they debut their season in F1?
That was actually going to be one of my next things I was going to mention was that Jonathan Wheatley, he left with immediate effect, which is kind of crazy, especially because for Audi themselves, they're new. They were kicked before, and now they've moved into Audi, and no one's
Yeah.
really sure what happened or why.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
haven't
it
been
just
able
got
to see
released like
anything.
yesterday or whatever. Not even.
Well, and also it's kind of funny timing as well. Maybe coincidental that also reports are starting to say that Adrian Newey might also leave Aston Martin since they're having so many issues with the new regulations. His
There's talk
designs.
about Wheatley going to Aston Martin. I feel like they're going to do like a principal trade or what.
That's
Who knows?
swap. That's almost what it seems like what's going to happen this week. And then even once again, too, going back to the race, Mercedes overall, it seems like they're taking off with the
Oh
new
my
regulations.
gosh, dude! Toto Wolff made an absolute rocket ship.
And then even McLaren too, they didn't race this weekend in the actual race.
Yeah,
Lando Norris didn't even make it out of the pit lane, and then Piastri made it to this to like his starting spot, and then had to get taken off, wheeled off from there because his car broke down when it started. They had I think it was one of their components. They're having issues. They couldn't get the car to like start up at
yeah,
all.
and that's really bad for McLaren because last year, or at least last season, McLaren was top dog. Verstappen almost made a generational comeback for Red Bull, but like McLaren, what's it called? They ran the show almost the whole year last
Oh
year.
yeah.
And for that to happen this year after the season that they had, after McLaren was always kind of chipping away, trying to be at the top, that's really not a good look for just the production team and that stuff for building the car.
No, well,
It's going to be expensive.
the car looks good. Like when they can actually
Yeah.
when they can actually race, the car's amazing. They're doing well. They're having good pace, close to Ferrari, but now they've lost so many points. It almost feels like the season is over before it even started.
Points is like 90 or 80 something for McLaren or Mercedes. And then Ferrari has 67.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Crazy enough, Haas has 17. Currently, that's nuts to
I
think.
know
Haas is
the top
1 point
five goes
behind.
Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Haas, and then I think it's Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull. Then it's Racing Bulls, which are actually tied with them. Funny enough. And then Alpine, Audi, Williams, and then Cadillac and Aston Martin still have not yet to get on the plate,
Yikes!
which is brutal. But
How about
man,
how about Ferrari finally getting a good car here for
that's
Hamilton and Leclerc?
yeah, they're looking good. But I think Lewis Hamilton's starting to wish he stayed with Mercedes though. With the
Well, yeah,
rocket ship they
especially with the
built.
car that Mercedes has now. But I mean, like, when was it when George Russell went to Mercedes? What year was that?
Oh, that was a while ago now.
2017, 2018.
Yeah, that was a while ago now.
I think it was before COVID. But at least finally Ferrari has made a good car for at least the drivers to race in. Because last year when they had Hamilton and Leclerc, Charles Leclerc, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like two elite drivers, and they're struggling in this car. And sometimes the issue is the car, not the driver. So it's good that Ferrari finally has a good car that they can actually compete in a spot that they should be and that they're projected to be, especially with the legacy that Ferrari's had in the league of F1.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Total Wolff and Mercedes just made an absolute rocket. Did you see the green thing on the Mercedes car on the side of the cars? And
No.
during one of the pole races, apparently it was like an air cooler or whatever, something to cool either the driver off.
Kimmy.
Yeah, and the part fell off. Both parts fell off the car during the race.
I did
And
see
the
that.
Mercedes and the McLaren car ran over it during.
Sorry, I wasn't sure what you were talking. Yes, I did. Actually, I saw that. I was watching the qualifying when it happened. Yeah, they had two. It was like two. I don't even know. Basically, I don't even know what the fuck it's called. Almost like
it was It was something to do with
they're
cooling
cooling, they're
something up,
the
whether
cool the
driver
engines.
or the actual car. But like literally during one turn and like any bump, like it was really fragile. They just fall
Yeah,
right
they-
off, and then boom, the McLaren car runs it over.
Yeah, which had actually messed up Lando's wing, but somehow there was, I think, no penalty, or it wasn't as significant what it should have been. But anyway,
Well, it
we
was just
try
a
to wrap
little. It
this
was just a
up.
small component, probably like the size of maybe like a laptop screen or
Yeah, it
whatever.
was small.
Like
Yeah.
you ran it over. Like when the car ran it over, it just got crushed into little pieces. I don't think it'd do a lot of damage to any vehicle.
No, well, the wing, I think it damaged the front wing because the wing's made out of like carbon fibers. So it's very, very brittle.
Yeah.
But anyway,
All right,
hey, who's your pick? Who's your pick for the race this weekend? I'm
this
going
weekend,
Kimmy.
me, George Russell.
You're going George K. I'm going Kimmy. Well, it looks like Kimmy.
Going Kimmy. George
Either way.
is a dog, dude. I'm gonna go George Russell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm
Because
going
no one
Kimmy.
can compete with Mercedes at this point. Like they're too good.
Well, okay. Well, that's the F1 update for this week.
I'm going
Joey?
Fernando Alonso in case anybody cares.
Alonso.
Guy said he couldn't feel his hands after the race last week.
All my money's on Fernando Alonso. Everything I own.
Oh, you know, fair enough.
All right.
Who
You
knows?
guys
Sleeper
yapped
picks.
way longer about Formula One than I ever thought you were going to.
I almost
yeah,
fell
I was
asleep.
Oh, that wasn't that long.
I forgot we were filming
Start
this.
to get into it, dude. You'll
I forgot we
understand
were
the
filming
entertainment
this.
behind it.
I can't wait till somebody comments love the F1 talk or something.
We just turned into a full-
It's gonna be
thing is
full on
with
an
F1
alt
is
account.
after the Netflix series got popular with F1, everyone's been watching it. Like there's so many people actually that really
it's good
enjoy
for the
F1.
It's good for the clips.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
like
for sure.
TikTok. But you're gonna put them on TikTok.
We're about to
Yeah,
turn into
or
an
don't.
F1 podcast.
No, bro. When I did my my TikTok thing there for like
Cole, stop
a
yapping.
month, my F1 shit popped off.
Yeah. All right. Time to move on, though. That was our Formula One update with Cole, and I guess Joey's into F1 now too. I guess we're gonna have to expect that every week. So I hope you guys enjoy Formula One for 10 minutes.
That's the part that pops up with least interacted with.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cody's like, all right, the F1 segment, you skip over to the next.
We're moving
bookmark.
on to the next one here. Now we're gonna move on to MLB regular season starting up because the first game of the season, we'll pull it up right here, is Wednesday. You got Max Fried versus Logan Webb. So Wednesday, I guess this comes out on Tuesday, so it'd be the next day. Yankees Giants on Netflix. I might actually watch that game now that I know it's on Netflix. I'm kind of intrigued a little bit.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah,
either.
Netflix is.
I didn't know either until I looked at it. But now what we're gonna
Good
do
promotion.
is, last time we did baseball predictions, it didn't go too well. World Baseball Classic. None of us predicted Venezuela to win. I don't think, right?
No,
No,
one took
everybody's
No
team
one
is
took
out by the
Venezuela.
semifinals. But we're gonna do a prediction for the full season because obviously the World Baseball Classic's a lot shorter. We have 162 games. We won't know our final predictions until October. But you know what? We're going to get it done now. I want who you think is going to win each division and then the 3 wildcard teams in each league. So basically, just give me the playoff teams. We're going to start with our baseball guy. Logan, you're going to go first on this one.
Right on, big dog. All right, so to kick it off, American League East, I went with the Blue Jays. I think they're just going to go run it back. We didn't necessarily get worse in the offseason. Obviously, losing Bo Bichette hurts the offensive ceiling of our team, but bringing in Okamoto and everybody to replace him and adding depth to our bullpen and our starters, I think we're just going to run it back clean. AL Central, I took the Detroit Tigers. They have, honestly, the most dominant 1-2 punch on the mound with a good rotation and good bats that get hot right when they need to. So I think they're finally going to stay consistent this year. AL West, I took the Mariners. Honestly, the Mariners are probably the best team in the American League. Their bats are incredible. Their starting pitching is probably the best in the conference. I don't know. You could probably take the Sox on that one, maybe too. But That's my
Hang
east
on, which
side, and then
socks? Hang on, yeah. Which socks are we
Red
talking
Sox.
here?
I believe in the White Sox. The White Sox.
Sorry, I started
No,
laughing
it's
when you
Red.
said that because I thought White Sox for a second too.
It's Red Sox. The White Sox are gonna be fucking horrible.
Did you say American League? Because if you said American League, then I'm just an idiot. I wasn't really paying full attention.
It's American League.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
Then
Sorry,
flip
move
over
on.
flip over to the National League here. National League East, I'm going with the Phillies. Honestly, like the Braves or Mets have a good option there, but I think that the Phillies are going to be the most consistent of those two teams. Obviously, they don't have, their ace and Zach Wheeler for like half the season, but they still have a pretty solid starting lineup beyond that. AL Central, I'm taking the Cubs over the Brewers. It's really a two-horse race there, but I feel like Chicago had the better offseason. I really like Alex Bregman is good short term, but I don't know how he's going to last long term in Chicago. And then Edward Cabrera is a great starting pitcher to add to your rotation. He's got a pretty decent ERA. And then the or the NL West. That's not a hard choice. It's the Dodgers.
It's the Rockies.
It's the fucking Rockies. I love it. Kyle Freeland MVP season. No, I'm kidding. No, it's the Dodgers. It's not a hard decision. So that brings me to my wild card teams. On the American side, I have the Mariners at 1 and Toronto at 2 for the buys. And then my wild card teams, I took Boston, I took the Yankees, and the Royals. And then my honorable mention would be the Orioles, because realistically, they can go back and forth. And then on the National League side, my wild card teams, I took the Mets, the Brewers, and the Diamondbacks. But I put an honorable mention to the Braves just in case they stay healthy. But those health concerns, I don't really see them making the playoffs this year.
All right, Cole, give us your division leaders and wild card in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. So for the American League, for the East, as much as I hate to do it, I'm gonna go the Yankees. I don't know why. I just feel like they're gonna have our number this year, especially after us taking them out. I don't know.
Yankees will lose.
So I know. I hope so. I hope I'm wrong about that one. I do hope I'm wrong about that one. And then for the Central, I'm gonna go the Tigers. They're looking pretty good this year. And then the West, I'm gonna go the Astros. Honestly, I don't know much reasoning. I don't know too much about other teams in baseball. I'm more just a Jays guy. And then the NL, I'm gonna go in the East, the Braves. The Central will be the Cubs, and then the West, the Dodgers. And then for my wild cards, I'm gonna go with the Jays, Red Sox, Guardians in the AL, and then in the National League, I'm gonna go Phillies, Padres, and Brewers.
Padres is a shout for sure.
Oh yeah.
You believe in Manny Machado?
All right,
Oh,
Hendo.
that's true.
Shadow.
All right, Hendo, you're up.
So, AL East, I'm going with the Jays. I think, again, it's going to be the same as last year. I think it's going to come down to the final couple weeks between them and the Yankees. I think I'm being a little bit biased here with the Jays, but they did improve their rotation. They did improve their bullpen. Maybe losing Bo's bat in the lineup may hurt them a little bit. Who knows? Can Ernie keep up from last year? Stuff like that. The Central out of the Tigers, it's a weak division. Nobody's really buying or selling in that division. Cleveland seems to sell every year. They have a low payroll. Kansas City is very inconsistent. The West, I have Seattle. That division's pretty weak too. But Seattle should be able to continue off of last year's trend. Even losing Eugenio Suarez, they're fine. They have prospects coming up. My wild card, though, it's gonna be a little different. I have the Yankees because it's the Yankees.
Yeah.
Baltimore, they spent in the offseason. I think they're just they had a bad year last year, but they were also injury plagued. But I think they're gonna beat out Boston for the second wild card spot there. And I have a dark horse here for the wild card.
White Sox.
No, it is the Athletics.
Oh.
The A's.
I think
I don't
Oakland-
hate that.
Oh, sorry,
I don't hate
Sacramento or what? The Athletics. Sorry.
The Athletics.
I
We'll just go-
think they're very young. They traded Mason Miller last year, but they got a huge haul for him. If they can get a balanced lineup, if their young guys can stay healthy, and if they can just add some pitching, I think they can just squeeze their way into a wild card spot. So that's my dark horse 2 of the season.
Big Amish, baby. Big Amish.
The NL East, I have the Mets. They spent this offseason. They are gambling a little bit, playing Bo at third, Polanco at first, positions that both of them have never played. They also beefed up their bullpen too a little bit by taking from the Yankees. Central, I have the Cubs. They did improve this offseason. They got Bregman. They got Edward Cabrera. If he can stay healthy, that's a great pickup for him. The West, no comment. We know who's winning that one. The wild card, I have Atlanta. If they can stay healthy and consistent this year, they'll be fine. Philly will be my second team. They're a little bit older, but again, they picked up guys last year that are staying on the team. They did acquire Adolis Garcia in the offseason, who I think could be an upgrade to someone like Brandon Marsh. And Arizona, I have over San Francisco right now. Arizona always seems to find a way to stay consistent. They brought in some vets this year, and they are still a pretty young team. I think they're going to squeeze their way into the playoffs.
All right, Joey, you're up now. Your division winners
All
and
right.
wild card teams.
The Blue Jays. Central, I have the Tigers as well. The West, I have the Mariners because of playoffs last year. They're pretty nasty. The East, I actually have the Braves. The Central, I have Brewers. And then the West, we have Dodgers, no brainer. And then the 3 wild cards going to be Baltimore. It's going to be the Yankees, and I'm going to throw in. I'll throw in the Mariners.
You said the Mariners were a tie.
Or no. I'll throw. Yeah, I just realized that. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just throw the Twins in there.
Twins. That's a shout. That's a shout. Goddamn.
All right,
Yeah.
and your National
Joe,
League.
take
Hey, he's got to give his
And
He
then
has to say the National League.
the NL. NL, we're gonna go with Cubs. We're gonna go with the Phillies, and then
Rockies.
fuck it, Padres.
Rockies.
The Pedros. The Pedros, dude.
All right.
Just because I love Manny.
All right, my turn now. First off, this took me forever to decide. I spent like an hour and a half trying to pick my fucking winners here because some of these are so close. Like, you have the divisions that are obvious, and then there's like the ones like the NL Central is just so it can go either way. But I went American League East. I went the same, I think, as everybody else except for who said the Yankees? Cole. Yeah,
Cole.
I had the Jays. I don't think Bo Bichette has that big of an effect on them. He was injured for most of the playoff run and late in the season, anyways. Yeah, he can hit, but like so can everybody else on that team. Realistically, can hit for contact. Like it's not really. And
Yeah, pretty consistent hitting team.
We got a better fielding infielder now, anyways. The Central, I also went with the Tigers. Just the rotation's nasty. Also with the Jays too. A healthy Jays rotation, in my opinion, is like top 7 in baseball, if not top 5. Like you got
top 5.
like Dylan Cease coming over from the Padres is big. I know Padres fans. My brother's
huge.
a Padres fan, so he talks about him. They don't like him that much for some reason, but I think he's a good pitcher. Obviously, Gosman, who knows? Savage on his full rookie.
How about
year.
him being on the IR?
Yeah, but he's
IL.
back. He's back in a couple weeks. It's not that long.
Oh yeah.
But then, like, even when Bieber can come back, if he's healthy, like that pitching rotation is nasty. West, I have the Mariners. That there's really no competition in that division, really. And then I'll go to the National League. For the East, I put the Mets. I think that Bo Bichette leaving doesn't have as big of an impact on the Jays as people think, but I think him going to the Mets has a big impact on the Mets.
They also had a pretty big offseason, though.
Yeah, they had other players, but Bo Bichette was the biggest name that signed there. And while he's not the best fielder and they're moving him from third base, if the turf really was the problem for his injuries and he can stay healthy, he is a really good player. A fantastic player. So he could be big for them. Yeah, offensively.
But
What about his first play at third? That wasn't very pretty.
The Central, I have the Cubs. It was kind of a wash-up between them and the Brewers, but I feel like the Cubs they might just do a little more to squeeze in there. And the West, I don't even need to say the name because we don't want to speak of the devil on this podcast. We'll move on. The wild card now, I have the Baltimore Orioles. I think they'll have a better season. I think their stars will perform better this year. They had
they got a really good
Alonso
roster.
signing is great.
Yeah, the
Love
Pete
that.
Alonso signing can help them too. I have the New York Yankees as a wild card team. I think just their lineup
Pretty
is. If their lineup's on, their lineup's filthy. And then
Yeah.
I actually have the Kansas City Royals as my third wild card there. For me, the last wild card in both the Atlantic and National League were the hardest ones to pick because looking at all of them, there was like 4 teams that almost made it last year, and the teams kind of didn't drastically change. So I'm kind of just going off a hunch here. And then the wild card, I have the Brewers because I think they'll finish second in the NL Central, and they'll be really close with the Cubs. I have the Phillies because they didn't lose much again in the offseason. They didn't change a whole lot. And I actually have the San Francisco Giants as my third wild card team. I don't know why. I feel like it's a year for orange. I don't know. Just something about the Giants is making me feel good.
Their
Orange is
pitching
the new black, baby.
going to carry them.
I didn't really get a good look at their roster. I don't know why I picked the Giants. Hunter Pence was on an episode of Fuller House. I don't like that show, but I thought Hunter Pence was kind of funny. He played for the Giants, so fuck it. We're rolling with the Giants.
Hey man, great deductive reasoning. I love that.
Yeah. I didn't put the Padres because I think Dylan Cease leaving them is going to hurt them a lot. I had them written down, and then I remembered, oh yeah, we took Dylan Cease, and their starting rotation is like Michael King is like their star, and I'm like, I don't feel great in that. Plus Tatis is, if he's good, he's good. If he's not, he's not. And then the Red Sox was the other team that I barely left off. I don't know. I just don't feel as confident in the Red Sox as they do about the Yankees and the Orioles, and I don't think that 4 AL East teams are going to make it. So that's kind of where I went. Do you guys have any like teams that you barely left out?
Yeah, I had actually quite a bit. I think it was harder choosing the wildcard teams than it was the division winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me too, Milwaukee could have easily been a team I could have taken honestly over Philly or Arizona. My only issue with Milwaukee is like they trade their ace in the offseason to the Mets.
They lost more than they gained.
Yeah, and they're a smaller market team, so they don't like to make all these big moves. They like kind of like to homegrown their guys and then just let them go when their value's at its max. Again, Boston too. I think Boston could be a very like close 1-2 for who makes it. Obviously, the Athletics I chose, but I think if I didn't choose the Athletics, it would have been like someone like Texas. I think Kansas City's too inconsistent to make it. Again, even San Francisco, I do like San Francisco. They are a very interesting team with some of the guys that they have. The rotation's a little meh. They have to like outpitch they have to outhit their own pitching, basically, I think is what they're gonna have to do. But they also have good prospects coming up as well.
They're also missing Jung-Hoo Lee. Jung-Hoo Lee.
All right. I think it's time to move on to the next segment. This is dragging on very long here. So
this is rough.
that was our MLB predictions. We'll come back to those in October. Obviously, if we don't forget about the podcast in that time, but we'll see how off we were. All right. So we've been talking about the headlines of the week for a really long time now, a lot longer than we probably should have, but it's fine because these are good conversations we're having, I like to think. But I think it's time to move on to winners and losers of the week. So you guys can see it. I'm going to pull it up on screen here. The winners and the losers of the week. I made a graphic for it today. I was feeling very creative today. So winners and losers of the week. So for winners, we have Venezuela, obviously won the World Baseball Classic. Congratulations to them. Shout out Miguel Cabrera. I don't know what he was doing on the team, but I saw him on the bench.
USA News.
Alexis Lafreniere would have been the greatest week of his career ever. He had like 7 points in 5 games or something like that. That's not something you see from him. So I needed to fill out a spot.
Something you expect from a first round pick.
First overall. That's what you expect from a first overall pick, but not Lafreniere. And third, I have the Vancouver Canucks solely because they are the greatest losers in the National Hockey League. These guys are so fucking bad. They're not eliminated from playoff contention yet, but they kind of are. They're like 25 points out of the last wild card spot in the West, and I don't think they're going to go on a tear and win the next.
Well, where's the depth?
They're not going to win the
next.
next.
They have Pedersen and
Pedersen's not. None of the guys are performing. No, they're winners because they suck so bad, and it's a good draft.
Yeah.
That's why they're winners because they're really bad. We're going to move on to the losers, and then we're going to discuss So for the losers, we have North Carolina men's basketball. Obviously, you blow, 19-point lead. You're going to be put on this fucking list. How the hell are you going to do that? The Edmonton Oilers, because not only is Draisaitl out for the year, but I don't know if you guys heard about this rumor that Tristan Jarry was fighting a guy in practice. We don't know much about it, but there was talks. Elliot Friedman mentioned something about that he was going at it with a guy in practice. And the third loser of the week is us, because of our horrible WBC predictions. Every single one of us was wrong. I think most of us predicted Japan, and they were
Did
gone.
anyone even have the state?
No.
No.
Oh, so we no one had anyone in the final.
No. The closest was Italy, who lost in the semis, because Japan, literally right after we recorded, lost to Venezuela, I'm pretty sure it was, right?
Yep.
Immediately after they lost. So those are the winners and losers of the week. Do you guys have any opinions on the winners or the losers? We can talk about whatever.
I think we suck, so I agree with that.
Yeah, we're brutal.
That was pretty
I was picking
bad.
the
Never gambling
good, and it
again.
ended up being the best, but even then, I still didn't make the final.
We almost cut that full segment out, but it would have been like a 20-minute part that would have been taken out of the podcast, so I kind of had to leave it in there.
What was the time span with the North Carolina game? If we know, like, did they like drop 19 points in like 5
look.
minutes or
I think it was at like halftime.
halftime? I don't know.
Probably would have been around halftime or so. But that's rough for UNC, man. They were. I don't know if they were.
Especially if you're up 19, you can
They
always
had an
make baskets
18-point.
back.
They had an 18-point lead with 12 and a half minutes left.
Yeah, that's fucking
Yikes.
terrible.
They scored only eight.
That's
They scored
pretty
only
bad,
8 points in the
especially for
last
the
12
fact that you
minutes.
can always make buckets back.
They only scored 8 points in the last 12 minutes.
Shut up.
Oh, that's rough. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Underdog rolling.
So, yeah, do you guys any other opinions? Obviously, like I said, congrats to Venezuela. Alexi Lafreniere, we don't need to dive that far into it. The guy's not a great player. He had a good week. I had nobody else to put on there, so we threw him on. And
Is Demko healthy
No,
for
he's,
Canucks or
no,
no?
he's done for the year.
he's
He
never
hit
healthy.
COVID.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But the
Typical.
Canucks, you're looking at it as their losers. I'm looking at it as their winners because they're so bad in a draft that's kind of stacked.
Listen, I don't think they can be a full winner yet because they could somehow fall they could fall out of the sweepstakes of getting Gavin McKenna, Steinberg, and all of them still. So until they're locked in at number one, but
They'll be winners.
But I think that's the first time I've ever seen a loser being a winner,
Well,
which I think is also funny.
When your goal is to lose and you're good at it, you get put on the winners list. That's how I look at it. I think it's time to move on to our final segment. All right, so for our final segment, we like to do something a little fun. This one we all had to prepare ahead of time for this one. The last one we didn't really have to when we kind of went, could you do these things? This time, this was something that we were kind of discussing a couple days ago. We were playing
Shell.
We were playing Shell. We were discussing it, and I thought it was a good idea, so we decided to do it. We're ranking the last 10 NHL drafts based on the top 5 picks. So basically, which year had the best top 5, which year had the worst top 5 based on now. I included 2025 because 3 of the 5 picks have played at least a game in the NHL. They're still hard to rank. They're probably going to be at the bottom of most of the lists, but it's still majority of them have played in the NHL this year. So I feel like I had to include them because it'd be kind of cheating if I didn't, because like Matthew Schaefer's having a great year. So we're going to start off with Joey. Give us your ranking of the last 10. So we're going from 2025 to 2016.
All right, so I got everything listed from 1 to 10, 1 being like goated, 10 being cheeks. Number 1's going to be 2018 draft. Number 2 is 2017. Third place is 2020. Fourth is 2019. Fifth is 2016. Number 6 is 2024. Number 7 is 2025. Number 8 is 2023. Number 9 is 2022. And number 1, very heavily on last place is 2021.
All right. Do you have any reasoning as to why you have those? Like, can you elaborate on some of those?
All right. First place is because all these guys have played and had very crucial roles on their team. Barrett Hayton, he was nasty last year, putting up a lot of points. What's it called? Kotkaniemi. I'm a former Habs fan. He showed up huge for the playoffs when the Montreal Canadiens went on that playoff run. Svechnikov was kind of the start of hitting all those Michigans and the reason why they've gotten so popular. And Rasmus Dahlin, Kachuk, one of the biggest villains in the league. And Rasmus Dahlin, he's nasty. Not lots of explanation behind that. And the reason why I put that above 2017 is because Nolan Patrick, he pretty much sold that draft, unfortunately. He's sure pretty decent pick. But then you got guys like Heiskanen, Makar, and Pedersen. Pedersen, he's nasty. It's just he's not been producing for Vancouver as of lately, as of this year, and even last year. Last year, he was really struggling. But you got guys that carry the list like Makar and Heiskanen. Heiskanen's a sleeper for sure. He's doing really well with the Stars. And Makar, obviously, one of the most kind of slept on picks in that draft year, coming from what was it, Alberta Junior A. Yeah. So he really he saved that draft. I put 2020 in there because there's a lot of pretty decent role players. Like last year, you got Lucas Raymond as a fourth overall pick. He was having a really good season last year with the Red Wings. They finally have kind of found their mojo. Lafreniere, he's kind of picking it up. Byfield, solid second round pick. We were talking over it on Shell, and Quentin Byfield's probably everyone's number 1 second round pick or whatever it is. I don't know. He's pretty up there. And Jake Sanderson doing well with the Sens. But yeah, then 2021, just a brutal draft year. McTavish, he's doing all right. We haven't seen a lot from Ken Johnston besides his Michigan against I forget who when he was on Columbus. Luke Hughes, I'm not really huge on him. And Matty Beniers, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Seattle that much. So, and then Owen Power, probably one of the lesser producing first round picks in these lists that we have. So yeah, that's all I got.
I should have specified before we started this, but for the viewers, we're doing based off their NHL careers. So, like, these newer drafts, if a guy's producing like a fucking tank in Sweden right now or Czech Republic or something, doesn't matter. It's based on their NHL careers. So that does give a disadvantage to like 2025 and 2024 when some of these guys haven't really done much yet. You could take that into consideration, but at least for me, I based it mostly off of how they've produced at the NHL level. So moving on now, Ryan, give us your ranking.
So I have 2017 first. You undoubtedly, I think this is in the last 10 years, the best top 5 drafted. Heischer being one. He's one of the best defensive centers in the game. He captains the team. Nolan Patrick, it's unfortunate what happened to him. But then you have 2 of the top 5 defensemen in the league in Heiskanen and Makar, plus Pedersen, who has struggled a little bit this year, but I think 2017
he's nasty.
is the best. Then I have 2018. The only downfall on this one, I think, is Kotkaniemi. I think he's a bust. I think he was a bust in Montreal before Carolina even offer sheeted him. But again, you have another top 5 defenseman here, in my opinion. Brady Tkachuk's just an absolute rat out there. He's an enforcer, but he's as a Leafs fan, he's fun to watch. And Barrett Hayton,
the guy you love to have and hate to play again.
My third one is 2020. I don't care about Lafreniere, to be honest, but it's the other 4. Byfield's slowly starting to turn into the player that they draft him to be. Stützle is like he's a star player for Ottawa. Lucas Raymond, again, finally found his footing, it seems, in Detroit. Jake Sanderson is always going to be a top defenseman on Ottawa as long as he's there. My fourth one is 2016. Matthews, I think, hard carries this just based off of some of the seasons and what he's accomplished. Line A, if he can stay healthy, like he can still, I think Line A can still pop 40 goals if he plays a full year, but I think it's got to be on another team, not Montreal. Dubois seems to have found his footing on Washington, and then Puljujärvi, Olli Juolevi, like they're just whatever. My fifth one's 2023. Bedard's finally doing something. Leo Carlson, they eased him in. Fantilli was doing fine since the start. Will Smith's been great for San Jose. Reinbacher, can't say anything, he hasn't really played. 6, I have 2024. Celebrini's carrying. I think he carries this list a little bit. Leshinov is more of a defensive defenseman now for Chicago. He's not putting up the numbers he put up in NCAA. Demidov, I'd like to see a little bit more from him. Seneca he's doing phenomenal in his first year.
He's doing great. Oh my gosh.
And Ken Lidstrom can't say anything until he debuts. 2019, I think, is horrible. Not the worst, but it's horrible. Like, Jack Hughes is the only really name on here. Kako's a bust. Turcotte's a bust. Byram's actually done stuff for Buffalo. Kirby Doc is so injury prone. Cole would look like a superstar.
Yeah, out there, coach. But
At 8, I have 2022. Again, Shane Wright, don't care for him. He's not proving his worth for an exceptional status guy. Slavkovsky's finally found his footing. Nemec, can't say much again. He's barely had any games. Logan Cooley's slowly turning a leaf. And Cutter Gauthier, I think I think Gauthier is the best one out of these 5 from this draft year. My 9 is 2021. Again, Owen Power isn't doing what he's doing in the minors, in junior. Matty Berniers, I think, is extremely overrated. McTavish, same thing. He's not really the best, and he was a healthy scratch the other day too. Luke Hughes, I actually am kind of high on still. I think he's still got to grow into his body a little bit, but I think over time he might be the best out of these top 5. And Kent Johnson is, again, he just hasn't really shown what he did in juniors. Number 10, I put this year's draft just because, like, I get it. Schaefer's going off. He's setting records as an 18-year-old defenseman. There's not enough there's just not enough games. There's no reason to put him higher right now. Desnoyers hasn't played yet. Brady Martin played less than 5 games. Frundell still overseas. Michael Misa, it took him a while to get going.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Misa's hot now, though. He's been off for the past 7 games?
With this top 5
games?
in a couple of years, this could be like a top 3
nasty
draft. So those are my reasons. That's my top 10 ranked from best to worst.
All right, Cole.
I like it.
It's your time to shine. You've been awfully quiet the last couple segments, so we're gonna let you take the floor. Give us your top 10.
Good boy. Okay. So for me, number 1 would probably have to be the 2017 draft, mostly because you have Cale Makar, who's one of the best players in hockey, definitely the best defenseman. And then for me, I think second would have to be the 2018 draft. Rasmus Dahlin's really starting to kind of step into his own, figuring it all out, as well as just had a really strong, the top 5 has been really strong overall. And then third would be the 2016 draft, led by Matthews, obviously, having some. Hold on, sorry, I have like multiple screens open. Having one of the most elite players in the world, as well as the rest of them are starting to figure it out as well, except for Oli Levy, by the way, only one. Knights legend, had to bring that up. And then for me, where am I? Fourth, that'd be 2020 would be my next one. It was another Lucas Raymond starting to look amazing. Tim Stutzel as well is also doing great things for Ottawa, and Jake Sanderson as well is looking really good. And the next for me, 2023, Bedard obviously is looking great, as well as Leo Carlson is really starting to play a lot better as well for Anaheim. And then Adam Fantilli. For some reason, I don't know why, I've always been a big fan of Fantilli. I think he's also probably another reason why I have him up there. And then next would be 2019. I think Jack Hughes, he's starting to look really good. I think he's also always been consistent throughout the years. And then next would be 2022 for me, which kind of self-explanatory. And then for me, I go. For me, it's really tough because probably 24 would be next, but as well as the bottom 3 are kind of, I feel like, really interchangeable. Like, and then 9 for me would be 21 because, well, it's a horrible group, and then last would be 25 only more because it's first year for some of them, or the other ones haven't even played yet as well. But I feel like between for me, like 25 and 24 could also kind of be like can swap those out too. But yeah, that's my top 10.
All right, Logan, give us your top 10.
Before y'all come after me in the comments for this shit, hockey is not my sport, so my list might, throw a couple people off
As he
here.
has the
But
Penguins thing on as well, logo.
I've had that since I was like fucking 13, buddy. Okay, so starting off my list, number 1, it's 2017. I know Nolan Patrick like kind of kills this, but this top 4, you've got all stars. You got Cale Makar, who's like an MVP candidate, like the best defenseman in the league. I don't think you can go wrong with 2017 at 1. Number 2, I have 2018. Really solid group. I think Darlene is finally taking that step to become a superstar because, like, keep in mind, we watched him put up a hat trick on the Leafs, his first career. We were at that game. Crazy to watch. Number 3, I have 2020. Just a solid group of guys. I know Byfield's finally starting to come into his own. Lafreniere is, Lafreniere, but Tim Stützle is a young superstar in the making. Lucas Raymond and Jake Sanderson are so solid on that blue line back there. Number 4, I put 2021. Just a solid group of young players. I know a lot of them are really inconsistent, but they still have time to figure their shit out. At 5, I have 2023 because Bedard is finally starting to break out. Leo Carlson's doing a lot of great stuff in Anaheim this year. Will Smith in San Jose is phenomenal, and Fantilli's been solid. Obviously, Ryan Backer yet to make the league, really. So at 6, I have 2016. Like, Matthews hard carrying, kind of like what Hendo said, and the rest of the guys are just like lower end, but solid still. At 7, I have 2022. I like Logan Cooley. I like Slavkovsky. They're doing pretty good. Shane Wright, he's got to pick his shit up. Carter Gauthier has been solid. 8 and 9, I put 24 and 25 respectively, just because, group of young guys, not enough games under their belt. I think it's kind of way too early to tell how they're going to pan out. Again, you look at this list in a couple years and probably climb in the ranks, and then at number 10, I put 2019. The top 5 isn't great. Jack Hughes is the only bright spot, and even then, with his injury concerns and consistency, I don't know. I'm not really sold on Jack Hughes personally. So, and then the rest of the top 5, like Kakko, Doc, Byram, Turcotte, not really producing much in the league. So I got 2019 at 10.
All right, so I'm going to do my list quick, and then we can kind of rebuttal everybody quickly. We're already at 15 minutes, but we can kind of make this segment go on a little bit longer because I have a couple of rebuttals I want to say, but I'll go my list first.
Sure.
I have 2025 at the bottom. I'm going to go bottom to top just because that's how I wrote it down. I'm going 2025 at the bottom solely because half of them haven't made the league yet. Schaefer's going off, but he's not enough. He's not putting up Sidney Crosby rookie year numbers. He's not putting up Alex Ovechkin rookie year numbers to carry it to past last place. Number 9, I have 2019. I don't think Jack Hughes, he's as much as he is a great player, fantastic player, he doesn't carry Kakko enough. Kirby Doc is always hurt. Bowen Byram doesn't do much, really. I mean, he's kind of stuck in a Sabres defensive core that just has a lot of young stars on it, and he's kind of the shittiest one. And Alex Turcotte is just nothing, nothing. 2022, I have it number 8. As much as it pains me to say, Shane Wright, Windsor Spitfires legend, the guy's dog ass. Shocked he was even taken that high. Even watching him when he was on Windsor, he didn't do anything on that team. He was always injured on that team, but that doesn't have anything to do with this ranking. I just don't like him. Slavkovsky finally kind of figuring himself out. It's not too little too late because he's only 22. He's still got time, but just from what he's shown in his career, it's not much for me. And then the other guys are just kind of not there yet for me. Number 7, I have 2024. Celebrini's disgusting. Beckett Seneca's having a really good year, and Ivan Demidov are gross. The way I looked at it is how many of them are stars, and then kind of which draft with the most stars kind of thing. And then if it was a tie, I looked at which mid-tier players were the best. That's why 2024 is this high for me. Number 6 and number 5 were interchangeable. I've actually changed them 4 times while you guys have been talking, but I'm going to keep it. Number 6, I have 2023. Bedard. He could put up better stats if he had somebody to play with. Hopefully they can get a winger for him in this draft. And really the only other guy on that draft that does anything, Leo Carlson. Adam Fantilli's there. He's not fantastic. Will Smith is kind of, again, he's in the same predicament as Bowen Byram. There's other guys on that team that are always going to outperform him, like an Eklund, like a Celebrity. So he's kind of just stuck being the third option in San Jose. 5th, I have 2016. I'm going to bring this up now. Cole said that Oli Uelevi's the only problem with this draft, and that's totally wrong. Puljujärvi's not even in the league anymore either. That guy was horseshit the whole time he was in the league. Matthews, heavy carry. The reason I put them above 2023 is because Laine has shown that he can do something when he's given the chance, and when he's on, Laine is one of the best scorers in the league, but he just has to be on for that. 4th, I have 2021. Owen Power plays his role well. You guys are all kind of a little low on this draft, I find. Owen Power plays his role really well. He's not meant to be a goal scorer. He's a big boy, and he's out there to be a big boy. I like Mason McTavish. He's a defensive-minded forward. I always kind of liked Mason McTavish. And while Luke Hughes is the shittiest of the Hughes brothers, he's still a really good player. Do I think he deserves what he's getting paid? No, not yet, but I understand why they did it. Number 3, we all kind of had the same top 3, but mine is 2018. The reason I put 2018 at 3 is because Kotkaniemi has never been anything, and Barrett Hayton has also never been anything. Barrett Hayton in, again, Utah/Arizona is kind of like a weird spot because, again, you got guys like Clayton Keller that are always going to put up more points. Like, there's just more stars there, but he's not that great. Kotkaniemi was never anything. That's why Montreal didn't even try to match his offer. They knew he was nothing. Number 2, I have 2020. You guys are actually underestimating Lucas Raymond. He actually almost won the call during his rookie season. You guys keep saying he just found his footing. He's always had his footing. He had it. He fell off a little bit because of injuries. But he's always been a really good player, top line on the Red Wings. Jake Sanderson's a star on the Senators defense, which is the Senators defense. They're not really amazing, but he's still a great player. Tim Stützle is one of the best forwards on Canadian teams for sure. Probably top 50 forward in the league, to be honest with you. And Byfield is a great Kopitar replacement. Kopitar's done this year. I find that he's probably the best guy you could ask for to replace, other than like a Nico Hischier. He's like the best guy. And then number 1, I actually have 2017. Just speaking about Nico Hischier, he's probably the best defensive forward in the league right now. Next year, for sure, will be the best. Probably multi-time Selke winner. He's going to take that role from Kopitar. Nolan Patrick, obviously, even when he was healthy, wasn't anything special. I think maybe if he went first, this might have hurt this draft a little bit more, but it's a second overall pick. Like, yeah, you want it to mean something. It's unfortunate he had injuries, but he was never really anything. Miro Heiskanen and Kel Makar are 2 of the top 5 best defensemen in the league. I'm very high on Heiskanen, and I actually think he's number 3 in the league behind Makar and Hughes. And Elias Pettersson, when he's on, again, he's fucking on. He's one of the best forwards in the league. So that's my list. Do you guys have any rebuttals for anything?
I'm just curious to what you see in Mason McTavish that kind of helped bring up that draft.
Is it like
a little
World
bit.
Juniors?
No, he's even in the OHL, he wasn't supposed to be. Obviously, in the OHL, a defensive-minded forward's still going to put up crazy points if you're an NHL draft pick, but he's a more of a defensive-minded forward than he is a pure goal scorer. At least from what I watch him. Like, also, Anaheim has a stacked kind of team of young guys. Like, they got some guys that can score. So he doesn't have to go out there and be the guy that can put up fucking 90 points in a season. He can kind of sit back.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be a hero.
Have a 50-point season. He can do what he does best is kind of why I moved it up.
You think like McTavish is a big like role player kind of? Like he knows the role, he's going to do it well?
Once Anaheim can fully build out their roster, I think he's a great second line forward.
Oh, they're getting there. Like Anaheim's looking real deadly right now. Even with like defensemen like what's his name?
Well, that's because they draft 4
Number
defensemen a draft, though. Anaheim
Zellweger.
drafts 4 defensemen a draft. They have like fucking 25 defensemen in the AHL.
That's crazy.
I wanted to rebuttal Cole real quick, though, and then if you guys have anything else to say, or we can just end this because we're at 22 minutes on this segment. Jesus fuck, this is a long podcast. But anyways, why do you have 2016 so high, Cole? Because everybody else kind of had it 5th, 6th. I had it really low. You had it 3rd.
Probably because I'm a Leafs fan.
So it's the Matthews bias because the way I looked at it too is, yes, Matthews is a superstar, but look at this year. You take Marner out of the equation, and he's not putting up a 69 goal season anymore. Sure, he can go back to that. It's probably an off season, but also he doesn't. Other than like the Rocket Richard, he's never the best player in the league. He's not the best defensively. He's not. I would rather have some of these other
guys. Not like a good leadership role either, like captain. Like, it's just purely off of star power.
Yeah, it's because he can score. You also, I brought it up earlier, but Puljujarvi should easily weigh this down at least a spot or 2. That guy's fucking horse shit. I don't know why you have this draft at number 3.
Leafs
bias. That's all it is.
I honestly forgot about Puljujarvi.
You were like, these other 4 guys, these other guys, they're pretty good. Only Ulevi's the only shitter. Yeah, Ulevi's shit.
No.
Puljujarvi's just as shit.
No, I only brought him up because he was the Knights. I know.
That guy got ran out of that garbage Pittsburgh team last year. He was so bad.
I remember watching this draft, and when I saw Ulevi go, I was so shocked.
I don't want to say, though, he used to be nasty in franchise mode. Disgusting in franchise mode. Yeah,
second that. I second that.
Yes. I'd always go for him. But anyways, that concludes the second episode of the College Dropouts podcast. I'm Cody, and these are the Dropouts: Cole, Logan, Ryan, and Joey. Again, if you guys like what you're watching, leave a like and subscribe. Follow us on our social media at the College Dropouts YT, as well as all of our personals. All the links are in the description. Again, weekly episode. This will be out on Tuesday, TCD Tuesdays, as we're calling it. We're going to be posting more clips. I only got the one from the last video, but I have an extra day to edit up on this one, so we're going to have more on this one. And, yeah, that's about it for me. You guys got anything to conclude before we finish this off?
Only thing I got to say, next Friday, go Blue Jays.
Yes, sir. Go Blue Jays.
Go Jays.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that concludes this episode. We hope you have a good one, and peace out.
Yeah. Dropped out of school, now we done rich. This sound like some 4301 shit.